There was an old mechanic named Walter who owned a garage just outside a small town. Not the kind with bright floors, touchscreens, coffee machines, nothing like that. This place smelled like oil, welding smoke, and 30 years of hard winters. People brought him everything: rusty trucks, broken chainsaws, generators that hadn't run since the last ice storm. And somehow, old Walter usually got them going again. Now, across the street from the garage was a brand new hardware store. All the bright lights, plastic packaging, big signs. New and improved everything. Next generation stuff. One afternoon, a younger guy named Kyle rolled into Walter's shop carrying an old lantern. Just like this. The thing looked pretty terrible. Glass cracked, handle bent, rust all over the place. Kyle set it on the bench and laughed. "My grandfather left me this thing," he said. "Figured you'd maybe want to take it for scrap parts before I throw it out." Walter didn't answer right away. He just picked up the lantern, turning it in his hands like he was reading a story written in metal. Then he asked, "Do you know where your grandfather used this?" Kyle shrugged. "No idea." Walter pointed to the dents along the side of it. He said, "Here's my guess. Fishing shack, probably. And it likely got knocked over a few hundred times. These scratches here, from the truck bed. The burn mark, somebody set it too close to a stove." Kyle smirked. "Or maybe it's just junk," he said. Walter looked at him for a second and said, "That's the problem with your generation. You see damage and think something has lost its value." Then he carried the lantern to the bench. For the next hour, Kyle watched the old mechanic work. He cleaned the rust, straightened the handle, and replaced the wick. Polished the glass, and little by little, that old lantern started to look alive again. Not brand new, better than brand new, because it looked like something that had actually lived. Finally, Walter lit the wick inside the lantern, and a warm light filled the garage. Kyle stared at it quickly, and that's when Walter said something that stuck with him for years. "Funny thing about old things," he said. "The ones worth keeping usually aren't perfect. They're the ones that survived." The garage went quiet, except for the sound of the lantern's flame. Then Walter nodded toward the hardware store across the street. "Anybody can buy something new," he said. "But it takes patience to repair something with history." And honestly, that's probably true for more than just lanterns. People spend their lives hiding scars, embarrassed by their mistakes, ashamed of their rough years. But scars aren't always proof something's ruined. Sometimes it's proof that the person just made it through. And a lot of the time, the strongest people you'll ever meet are the ones who got bent, scratched, and dropped a few times by life, just like this lantern. And they kept burning anyway. If you enjoyed this story, there'll be more to come just like it. Drop a comment, hit the like button, and consider subscribing. And remember to stay salted.